This is week 14. Let's revise multiplication of fractions. For multiplication of fractions, there are 3 chapters. Chapter 13, 14, and 15. For Chapter 13, it mainly discusses how to perform the multiplication of fractions with whole numbers. And in Chapter 14, it mainly discusses how to perform the multiplications of fractions by fractions. And in Chapter 15, it mainly talks about how to perform the multiplication of 3 fractions and how to convert hours, minutes, and seconds into one and another using the multiplication of fractions. This example shows how to perform the multiplication of fractions with whole numbers. So for 2 over 9 plus 2 over 9 plus 2 over 9 plus 2 over 9, they are totally 4 2 over 9. So that means this is equal to 2 over 9 times 4. So to calculate 2 over 9 times 4, we use the whole number times the numerator. That is 4 times 2, which is equal to 8. And then the denominator remains unchanged. That is 9. So that's why the answer equals to 8 over 9. Sometimes to perform the multiplication of fractions with whole number, it might be a mixed number times whole number. So you have to change the mixed number to an improper fraction first. That is, change 2 and 1 over 4 into 9 over 4 first, and then times 3. Then 9 times 3 equals to 27. Denominator remains unchanged, which is 4. So change the improper fraction back into mixed number, which is equal to 6 and 3 over 4. That's the answer. So have a look at this example, which is about how to reduce the fraction. At the left-hand side, it is 3 over 10 times 6. So if we calculate as 3 times 6, which is equal to 18, right? And the 10 denominator remains unchanged. Reduce the fraction into 9 over 5 and change it into 1 and 4 over 5, the mixed number. So we can reduce the denominator 10 and the whole number 6 first. So this makes the calculation easier. That is 6 divided by 2 equals to 3. And 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. So which means we use 3 times 3 equals to 9 for the numerator, and for the denominator, which is equal to 5. So the answer is 9 over 5. We change it back into mixed number, which is 1 and 4 over 5. So they are the same. You may think this is not necessary to reduce the fraction first, right? But have a look at this example. At the left-hand side, 5 over 97 times 97. If you didn't reduce the fraction, which is 5 times 97 equal to 485. For the denominator 97, so the final answer is 485 divided by 97. The answer is 5. So for the right-hand side, the same question, but if you reduce the fraction first, 97 and 97, you may reduce it as 1. So for the numerator, which is equal to 5 times 1 equals to 5, and for the denominator, which is equal to 1. So the final answer is 5 over 1, which is 5. So which one is easier? To perform the multiplication of fractions by fraction, so always remember numerator times numerator. 3 times 7 equals to 21. And denominator times denominator, which is 10 times 8, which is 80. So this is the final answer. Do remember to check any simplest form there. Before calculate the multiplication of fraction by fraction, always remember to check any simplest form there. Like this, 3 over 10 times 5 over 9. You may see that 3 and 9 can be reduced, and 5 and 10 can be reduced too. So we can reduce the fraction first into 1, 3, and then 1, 2. And this question will be more easier, which is 1 times 1 and 2 times 3, which is equal to 1 over 6. Sometimes it might be a fraction, proper fraction times a mixed number. Always remember you have to change the mixed number into an improper fraction first. Change 2 and 3 over 5 into 13 over 5 first, and then calculate numerator times numerator, 39, and then denominator times denominator, which is 20. Change it back into a mixed number. To perform the multiplication of three fractions, which is the same as to perform the multiplication of fractions by fractions, have a look at this example. 3 over 4 times 1 over 2 times 3 over 5. Numerators are 3, 1, and 3. Do the multiplication of them. And for numerator, which is 4, 2, and 5. So do the multiplication of them. So 3 times 1 times 3 equals to 9, and then 4 times 2 times 5 equals to 40. That's the answer. What about if there's a whole number inside the calculation? Here, 3 over 8 times 3 times 1 over 7. Actually, 3 is equal to 3 over 1. 3 over 1, that is equal to 3 divided by 1. Okay, so actually 3 over 1, which is equal to 3. They are the same. So you may write it as 3 over 8 times 3 over 1 and then times 1 over 7. So again, multiply all the denominators together. That is 3 times 1, and then for denominator, which is 8 times 1 times 7. The final answer should be 9 over 56. This example shows how to perform the multiplication of three mixed numbers. Always remember you have to change all the mixed number into improper fraction first. So for this question, change into 14 over 9 times 11 over 4 times 26 over 7, and then check whether there is some fraction can be reduced. Like 14 and 4, you may use 2 to reduce, and for 26 and 4, you may also use 2 to reduce. Every time when you reduce the fraction, you have to reduce one pair of number. So it will become 1, 11, and 13. And for denominator, it will become 9, 1, and 1. So do the multiplication of them, which is equal to 143 divided by 9. Change it back into a mixed number. That's the answer. In Chapter 15, you have learned how to convert hours, minutes, and seconds into one and another using the multiplication of fractions. So have a look at this figure. So do remember, if we want to convert hours into minutes, we have to times 60. And convert minutes into seconds, also times 60. So in opposite, if we want to convert seconds into minutes, we have to times 1 over 60. If we want to convert minutes into hours, we have to times 1 over 60. So these questions show how to convert hours into minutes. So to convert hours into minutes, we have to times 60. So 4 over 15 hours change into minutes, which is times 60. We can reduce the fraction 1 and 4, both divided by 15. And the answer should be 4 times 4, which is 16, 16 over 1. To convert minutes back into hour, so we use minutes times 1 over 60, so which is 100 times 1 over 60. We can reduce the fraction, okay, we can cross out 0 first, and then both divided by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 2 is 5, so the final answer is 5 times 1, and then over 3, change it back into mixed number, which is 1 and 2 over 3. That's the answer. Let's look at some problems about multiplication of fractions. There are 40 students in a class. 2 over 5 of them are boys. How many boys are there? Maybe you think that how many boys are there? So you just answer 2 over 5. So, but this is not the answer. 2 over 5 is not the number of boys. So 2 over 5 is the proportion of how many boys are there. So 40 students, 2 over 5 of them are boys. That means if we divide 40 students into 5 groups, like this figure, so 2 groups of them are boys. So I used blue color to represent boys and the pink color represent the girls. So to find the number of boys, we use 40 times 2 over 5. 40 times 2 over 5. Reduce the fraction of 40 and 5, which is 8 and 1. So the final answer is 8 times 2, which is 16. The denominator is 1. So the final answer is 16. Statement: there are 16 boys in the class. This question is similar as the last one, but it is asking you about the number of girls. There are 30 students in a class. 3 over 5 of them are boys. How many girls are there? Again, 3 over 5 is not the number of boys. 3 over 5 means if we divide 30 students into 5 groups, 3 groups are boys, which means 2 groups are girls. So if we want to calculate the number of girls, we have to use 30 times the proportion of the girls, which is 2 over 5. So, but we have to write down 1 minus 3 over 5 instead of 2 over 5. So for 30 times 2 over 5, which is equal to 12 over 1, equal to 12. So there are totally 12 girls in the class. So we will talk more about the multiplication of fractions in the coming soon lessons. See you there.